Minus 10, 9, 8.
The clock is operating. We're underway.
Tranquility Base here.
Endeavor, go at throttle.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids aged 8 to 80. Let's go ski racing here in the snowiest place on the planet Earth as we bring it to you live from Mammoth Mountain in the high Sierra Nevada mountains of California, where we are under an incredible amount of snow, and we're going to tell you all about it here coming up next. Hi, everybody. Boss Hogg alongside Elin Olive, and we are in the broadcast booth here on day number one of what has been the most epic national championships the USCSA has really ever experienced. More than 20 feet of snow. No, not 20 inches of snow, ladies and gentlemen. 20 feet of snow. And let's take a look outside right now. You'll be able to see what we're talking about has fallen here at Mammoth Mountain over the last 10 days. And it has been nothing but a reschedule, a reboot. What are we going to do? And we thought we were going to have some good racing weather for you today, but just as we had a break in the weather, it came roaring back in this morning, and we've got 65, 70-mile-an-hour winds out there, as you can take a look at our corral camera here at the Alpine venue. Today was a compressed schedule, and we were going to run the ladies' GS today in its entirety. We moved that schedule around to run the GS this morning, and then 2 full runs of slalom this afternoon, which was a very unique way to schedule, but we knew that we only had really 2 weather days here at Mammoth, today and tomorrow, to try to compress a 5-day championship schedule into that. And Elin, I'll tell you, have you ever seen anything like this? I know you've been around ski racing your whole life, like I have, and we've just never seen any kind of snow accumulation like this. It's really unbelievable, and unless you're here and you've been able to see a wall of snow in the parking lot that's literally 50 feet tall, you really have no idea what we're talking about. But tell us, what are your thoughts about what you've seen since you've been up here?
Well, first of all, it's a skier's dream to ski in powder above your head, but not so much a racer's dream. But I remember I was driving up Sunday, and the plan was get up here Sunday. You guys called us, said, "Hey, we've got 20 feet of snow up here. Stay at the bottom of the mountain." And I'm thinking, oh, it can't be 20 feet. It has to be an overreaction, guys. There are absolutely zero overreactions happening here. We have 20 feet of snow. It is ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity during a once-a-century system here at Mammoth Mountain.
Take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is pure whiteout conditions here at Mammoth. It's blowing the corral fence down, and the jury is meeting right now. Of course, we are in no position to have a ski race here. It's just not safe out there. It's very windy. The snow is covering the track, and then what happens is you get the soft snow that will unevenly cover the track, and so you'll go into a right boot turn, and the next thing you know, you're in soft snow on the left boot turn, and it's just not safe for the racers.
Well, quite frankly, in conditions like this, the edges don't grab, so you have to completely change the way you ski on stuff like this. You have to go from a skier's carver mindset to a mogul slide the turn type mindset. It's going to be it's a challenge to hold a race at any time you have snow coming down, but whiteout conditions, I mean, you and I looking out of our window right now, we can see maybe the last gate, and that is about it.
Unbelievable weather here at Mammoth Mountain, but we are broadcasting nonetheless here on the USCSA broadcast channel. We're glad you're with us. We know that you've tuned in here from all over the United States and all over the world. We'd like to welcome all of our international viewers here to the broadcast network. Wished we could bring you some great skiing here, but it looks like as the jury is meeting right now that this weather pattern is not getting better. It's getting worse, in fact. They are calling to begin tomorrow at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They're calling for another winter storm warning. And get a load of these numbers. Elin, if last week's 9 to 12 feet that they receive, not inches, feet. We're talking about, I've just never seen it before. Sure enough, starting tomorrow at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the winter weather warning is calling for another 5 to 9 feet between Thursday and Saturday here on Mammoth Mountain. And, that just affects not only our Alpine programs here, but the broadcast network down at Nordic today, bringing you the sprint race. Trent Rosenberg and the coach, Bob Underwood, on the microphone for the Nordic competition here from Mammoth. That's scheduled to fire up right at 10 o'clock this morning on the USCSA Nordic channel. And then a little bit later on today on the snowboard channel, 2 big events for snowboard competition. It's the boarder and the skier cross, and the slope style for the ladies today. And you were actually scheduled and slated to be over at the snowboard venue to call the border cross today, but of course the conditions there are exactly the same as they are here.
It is unreal. I went with actually Trent on our first day here to the demo shop. We were talking with a worker there. They're expecting 300 inches this month alone. For the uninitiated, 300 inches is half of a good year, and they're expecting that in March when things are usually slowing down at every other ski resort in the country.
I got to tell you, folks, if you look here on your screen, you'll see a picture of what this place usually looks like, and it's an absolute beautiful place. I have to say, of all of ski racing, this is a fantastic facility. I am from Maine, and I kind of grew up skiing Sugarloaf, which we like to think is the biggest mountain back east. It really is. The most number of runs and lifts and skiable terrain. Killington likes to say that they are, but we argue about that. Here at Mammoth Mountain, though, I have never been on a mountain that is this large. There are so many different areas to ski here. We've only seen maybe 1/10 since we've been up here at the main mountain lodge. We've been staying here at the Mammoth Inn, up at the main lodge, but there's 3 other lodges, including the Canyon Lodge and the Eagle Lodge, and this place is just absolutely magnificent. And the reason I say that is that I want everybody to know that it's not been a blowout for the athletes here.
No, absolutely not.
We've had some delays, and as a result, those delays allow these kids to get out and enjoy this mountain. Last night, we had our opening ceremonies here at the conference center, and how many smiles did you see on the faces of these athletes? These teams, they were out in force. They were out on the hill. Unbelievable fun was being had over the last 72 hours, and certainly last night when we talked to everyone, when we said this is going to be the national championships to remember. And so if it's not a full schedule, if it's not all the events, if we can't, by no fault of anyone except Mother Nature, who decided that instead we're going to have fun skiing. Yeah. I saw more Alpine ski racers on powder skis yesterday with their team jackets than I've ever seen, and oh, how much fun they were having. And we're going to continue. We hope that we can break this cycle of weather, but again, there's nothing you can do. If you can't race, you can't race. And as you see, you take a look outside, and it is just a brutal morning here in Mammoth Mountain, California. We want to talk about the number of kids that came here. This is a record-setting national championship. Over 600 athletes are here on the grounds. Everyone got here safely, and that was the biggest concern. Yep. You said that you and much of the broadcast team flew in on Sunday. They came in, at least our East Coast crew did. They came in on Sunday. They flew into a little airport it can't be 40 miles south of here.
It's less than an hour. And
they flew in on Sunday, and it was sunny and 50 degrees. There's not an inch of snow on the ground. You guys, they went out to dinner. You guys
had a grand old time.
But you had to stay I had to put you up in a motel because you could not come up the hill. Literally 395 was closed on the way from Bishop. So it is night and day. You literally get below 3,000 feet here, 4,000 feet, and it is a beautiful sunny spring afternoon. And at the same moment, you come up here and, pardon my French, but all hell breaks loose when it starts to snow up here. And as you can see here on our screens, it is happening that way right now.
One thing that really struck me when we drove in, because I drove in with a bunch of people from Salt Lake on Sunday, was when we crossed the state line and you could see the Sierra Nevada range, everything was beautiful, blue skies around it. But then you looked up at the mountain, and it looked like there was a black wall just like over the top of the mountain range. And you looked at that and you're like, oh, that's what's going on up there. It really is kind of its own secluded area up here. And quite frankly, we've seen some amazing looking courses here at the national championships. And but you can't control Mother Nature, but the effort here has been top notch.
Let's take a chance here to thank our sponsors. Today's broadcast, of course, it's brought to you in part by the Icon Pass. Now 50-plus destinations worldwide, including here, right here in Mammoth Mountain. And by Bora Teamwear. Made in the USA, Nordic and Alpine race suits. A lot of our athletes wearing the Bora Teamwear here today. We want to thank both of these guys for their incredible support of the USCSA and the broadcast team here as well. We were able to put all of the events underneath the broadcast schedule, including the GS and the slalom for the snowboarders, all of the Nordic events, all of the snowboard events. We actually created the fourth channel here this year. It's new in 2023. We call it the USCSA Extra Channel. And so if you go to uscsa.org and click on the broadcast link, you'll be transported to all of the channels. The Nordic channel, as usual, Trent Rosenberg and Coach Bob Underwood managing things down at the Nordic venue. Then over at Snowboard, it is the Beeve, Mark Oliver, along with Janelle Jancewicz, our new announcer. JJ, she is a professional snowboarder, competed in the Grand Prix, has worked at the X Games and for ESPN, and she is a local resident of Mammoth Lakes here. We were so fortunate to have JJ be able to join Mark Oliver over at the snowboard venue. We also have the cross venue, and you and Trent Rosenberg are going to be calling all of the cross events as well. So dual action for you. You get a little bit of Alpine in the morning, a little bit of border cross and skier cross in the afternoon.
You know what? When you look at the skier cross and you look at the rankings for it, Phil Johansson from Rocky Mountain College, great Alpine skier. He's one of the top skier cross guys in the world, in the USCSA, not the world. But it crosses over a lot. It's really cool to see how often Alpine, skier cross, the snowboarders are hanging out with each other, with the Alpine racers. It's all one big happy family here at USCSA. And we'd like to welcome to that family. We have some teams, since I've been here, making their first appearance in the Alpine venue scheduled today. Stanford is here. Northern Arizona University had some great finishes over at Western Regionals. Just a lot of new rules. I don't think the league has been in a healthier spot going into this national championships. You mentioned a record number of athletes here.
615 athletes. It's the biggest field we've had at nationals ever. Almost 100 more athletes than we're used to seeing here. I think it's a great testimony to what the league has been able to achieve post-COVID.
Yeah.
When we had COVID, remember we were in Lake Placid. We had to shut down the competitions. That was the week that they closed everything. That the NBA canceled their games. March Madness, all of the brackets of people getting ready, that all shut down. Everything shut down. And we were conducting our national championships at Lake Placid. We got closed down as well on that Friday. But I remember that at the end of that event, everyone was very concerned. What happens to college ski racing? What happens to college snowboarding and Nordic skiing when we literally cancel college for the next year? And instead of it having a negative impact on at least collegiate skiing and ski racing and snowboard competition, it seems to have had a complete positive impact. It allows people to be outside with each other, and sure enough, we're coming back in Lake Placid last year and here at Mammoth this year with record numbers, and it just is a great testament to the league and to all of the conference coordinators, the executive director, and the entire leadership group here at USCSA, and that's why we've got this many kids up here.
Boss, it looks like I'm seeing people pulling down flags and coming down. Good to see everybody coming down safely, but we haven't gotten the official word yet. But judging from description on the hill, I think it's a matter of time.
We are waiting for some final information to come in from the race jury here at Mammoth Mountain. If you're just joining us on the broadcast network, Boss Hogg and Elin Olive on the microphones for you. As we were set to bring you the first run here of the ladies GS. We then had to compress the schedule, and we were only going to make it a one-run competition, so it was going to run like a downhill to where they only got one opportunity to ski the course. And then later this afternoon, we were going to try to get in 2 runs of slalom. We were going to move the broadcast venue. The corral was going to move from Fascination, which is the trail that the GS was going to come down. We knew we had soft snow conditions, and so we were going to move to our lookers right and our skiers left over to the Andes Trail and run the slalom on that trail to a different finish corral. But it looks like we're waiting for some bad news here, and apparently we've gotten the information and the call now. That's going to be it. I think that's all. The jury has now completed their meeting, and unfortunately they have canceled today's ladies giant slalom. We're going to play the afternoon now by ear to see if we can maybe have a holdup in some of this snow. It looks like they've done the whole thing. It's off for today, and that's going to be the end of the ladies GS and the slalom. Ladies and gentlemen, it is tough ski racing conditions here, impossible ski racing conditions here at Mammoth Mountain. It is by no fault of anyone here at Mammoth, and certainly not at the USCSA. All of the teams, so great to see them last night in the opening ceremonies. I think they're all 600 kids were in the ceremonies. They carried their flags. We introduced them. They had a big cookout and a meal there at the lodge. But I'm telling you that everyone here, regardless of this bad news that we are seeing here, and let's go back to this camera angle. I want to see it is just literally cutting loose right now. It is blowing everything around, and it looks like if you take a look that this lift can't be much longer for this lift. It's just not conducive to ski racing, and it is unfortunate. A lot of people have spent a lot of hard work to get here, so much time and so much effort and energy, and that's why we wanted to come to air today, and we wanted to congratulate the 615 athletes. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to go and I'd like to read. Why don't you do that?
Yeah, we need to recognize all 131 athletes in this giant slalom. And I mean, you mentioned it. They worked so hard. They deserve their moment. We have Ainsley Kirk from NMU, Haley Kutzer from NEU, Hannah Goetz from Clarkson, Maddie McKay from Penn State, Emily Stein from Castleton.
Yeah, we also have Megan Gillis from Lafayette, Babson College's Lauren Abdow. Boy, what a shame that I think it's her senior year this year. We've seen her at so many of these nationals.
She has had a great season on the east side.
From SJCM, it's Lillian Sauwine, Lydia Kelleher from UConn, and Logan Lindstrom from University of Virginia.
We've also got Zoe Hancock from the Colgate Colleges, Ainsley Black from the United States Military Academy. First time we've seen the women here in quite a while. Congratulations to them. Amelia Stocking from CSU, Caroline Gray from Hobart Williams Smith, Hannah Petro from Colgate, and then the favorite.
Rocky Mountain College's Hilda Sato was back. I saw the whole Rocky Mountain team, the Battling Bears from Billing. They were in full force. Jerry came up and gave Coach Jerry a big hug to me yesterday, and I said, what are you going to do? Are you going to walk away with everything? And he goes, I got the strongest team I've had in some time right now. And Hilda Sato, certainly you see her. She was going to be skiing out of the 16th position here in the GS from Rocky Mountain. St. Olaf's Mir Eshumaro and Anna Julia Storch from Stanford. Also Kaylin Gahan from the University of Oregon. The Ducks here for the first time. We've not seen the Ducks here at the Alpine competition. Also Cassidy Gillis from the University of California at Davis.
San Diego State University is represented in the Alpine with Casey Benjamin. Faith Reichert, I believe, is that Messiah, maybe?
MESU, I don't know. It's a new school. Again, so many new athletes here, and usually by this time we've had an opportunity to familiarize ourselves with the abbreviations, but it is, as you can see outside, been quite a busy morning here at the Alpine venue.
Elijah Hodkins representing the Big Red out of Cornell, Ariana Turner from Brown, Ashley Winberg from CSS, and Ainsley Gates from FLC.
Also from the University of Oregon, it's Maris Tolson. Maris coming in also for the Ducks. Rocky Mountain's Brigitte Varney from the Billings crew. Northern Michigan University's Reagan Ollie here, along with the University of California, Davis's Logan Phillips. Also, Allison Waugh from UConn, Madeline Zorton from San Jose Community College, Lindsey Carroll from Lafayette, Whitney Fitzgerald from the Cavaliers at the University of Virginia, and Sarah Groden from the United States Military Academy.
We have Marjorie Plants from Hobart Williams Smith, Brooke Moran from Colgate, Isabel Ukar from Penn State, Carly Hollister from Castleton, Elise Donahue from Clarkson, Annabelle Forsley from NEU, Winter Johnson from St. Olaf College, Caroline Heyer from Babson.
You know she had a chance at this
Yep.
thing. Caroline
Absolutely.
is a great ski racer out of Babson.
Coming out of, she would ski from bib number 43, so a little bit later, but man, that with this, I was really curious to see how this one-run format was going to go. Moving on, Keely Potson from Stanford, Lily Waldman from the Colgate Colleges, Erica Irvin from St. Joseph's College of Maine, Shona Flake from University of Oregon, and Julia Bragg from Hobart Williams Smith.
Also from Stanford, there's Francesca Bottazzini, Colgate's Audrey LaFrance, Macy Marinich from the United States Military Academy, Katie Burse from Northern Michigan University, she is here today, Natalie Malmgren from Penn State University, also Ariana Baril from Babson, Castleton's Ashley Lacrosse, along with Northeastern University's Allison McConnell here today, and also Tate Gordon from Lafayette.
We got University of Virginia's Emily Donovan, Rocky Mountain College, Sine Gustad Viglog, Annabelle Hicks from UConn, Colgate College's Madison Wilson, Kate Young from St. Olaf College, University of California, Davis, Bailey Sokol, Shannon Quiles from Clarkson, Mia Reichsteiner from the Colgate Colleges, St. Olaf's Jessica Stanton, Sophia Brustia from Rocky Mountain College, Noel Emlich from Stanford, and Alexis Hollister from Castleton.
Also, Malia Lohman from Colgate. She's on the hill today. Clarkson's Kyla Butler, along with Northern Michigan's Ella Weichert, also outside. And it's just a tough break for all these ladies. I feel so bad for them. We see these names. UConn's Abby Horning is here. Ann Hayes from the Military Academy. Audra Robinson, the Nittany Lion from Penn State. Oregon's Emma Logan scheduled to race today. Washock's favorite, Hobart William Smith College's Catherine Broderick. She was scheduled to race along with Allison Soper, Olivia Cordero from Northeastern University, and Caroline Johnson, also from Babson. And that's just the first page of people, and I want to go through all of them. 131 we had slated here for this ladies GS. From St. Joseph's College of Maine, Mega Perkins, Ashley Byron from Hobart William Smith, Megan Powers from Northeastern, Lily Gaskell from Lafayette, and St. Joseph College of Maine's Sienna Mack also slated to race today.
Clarkson's Kylie Brino, UConn Kenna McCauley, Sydney Weaver out of Rocky Mountain College, Emily Creek from Northern Michigan, Castleton's Camille Jackson's Peyton Sundberg out of Colgate, Stanford. It's really cool to see the Cardinals here. Caitlin Leahy, Babson's Mae Fisk Mercer, Penn State Leah Zmerko, Abby Haas from St. Olaf's U.S. Military Academy, Alana Kerner, Sarah Peabody from University of Oregon, Gillian Maynard from the Colgate Colleges, University of Minnesota Twin Cities, Hannah Burns, Amelia Lubelska, I believe from UCB. That might be University of Colorado Boulder.
It is University of Colorado Boulder, unlike UBC, which is the University of British Columbia, the home of Mike Bisnair.
There you go. Sasha Mueller from the College of Idaho, Amy Marceau from Virginia Tech. And then, of course, you've got, I believe that's Syracuse, Maggie Sullivan.
Tufts. Kids all the way from Boston. Think about that.
Yep.
Think about how far you come when you get on an airplane. And Gretchen Kogut from Tufts got on an airplane in Boston. She flew all the way over here. I don't know how how many planes, trains, and automobiles they had to take. But they made it here, and then all of a sudden, the weather was just, it didn't cooperate. But she's here, and she earned her way here, and I think that's the thing we want to really impress upon our audience here today, is that every one of these people that we are naming in this, including Inz Juget from Syracuse, Elizabeth Gamarello from Colorado Boulder, Taylor Watkins from the College of or CI.
College of Idaho.
No, COI is College of Idaho, isn't it? I don't know. Well, Taylor Watkins is here, though. Sophie Johnzik from Minnesota Twin Cities. Devin Hart from Tufts. Alexandra Weinberg from Minnesota Twin Cities. They're all here, and just think about how they got here and what they had to do to achieve the national championship status. Not everybody gets to come to this race. You got to qualify for this thing, and you've got to go through a sectional, and then you got to go through a regional, and you've got to be on the podium in order to make this. So it's been an entire ski season for many of these racers of work, hard work that began back last fall. You know, skiing isn't just a winter sport. These teams get together in August, and Taylor Watkins is from the College of Idaho. That's right. You went into the athlete bios.
I was like, okay, we got to figure this out so we get it right.
I love it. Elin goes into the bios and finds out exactly where it's from. The point is that every one of these ladies has really worked hard all the way from September when they got to college in the fall, through the dryland training, through the weight training, through the flexibility training. Some are lucky enough to get on snow early. If you're in Oregon, you can get over to Mount Hood early and you can get on. Otherwise it's really tough to get on the snow. But they work hard, and then the snow flies, and all of a sudden they're managing, many of these ladies 15, 18, 21-hour workloads in some of the finest universities in the United States. Let me tell you what, if you go to Stanford, you're probably a smarty pants. Yep. It's one of the toughest schools in the entire world, and yet these ladies are able to manage grades because they have to. You have to have passing grades in order to be qualified to ski race, and then not only that, they're able to work out hard enough and get on snow so many times, often very far away from campus. They're able to get on snow, and the sacrifice that they make during that winter period is just so immense. And to earn their way onto their national championship team by qualifying and by performing is just something that's fantastic. And even though they're not going to get to race the GS here and the slalom here today, we want to recognize all of them, because I'm telling you, it ain't easy to make this place.
Well, and I want to take from Taylor Watkins' bio. So on the bio, we asked him, what's next for you? This should be next for everybody that can. Nationals next year again. All of them are having a great time here at Mammoth, but they know that they're going to get another shot at this.
Devin Hart from Tufts, Alexandra Weinberg from Minnesota Twin Cities. She's here. Sierra Kim from Colorado Boulder. Phoebe Schmaltz from Tufts. She made the trip out. Syracuse's Sophie Pirandini. Amy Farley from the College of Idaho. The Yotes are here. Mary Beauchard from Tufts. Kayla Vandercovering from College of Idaho. Then it's Syracuse's Catherine Lawton. Casey Kirschlager from Minnesota Twin Cities.
And you've got College of Idaho's Kaylee Owen, Samantha Lindell from Syracuse University, Sarah Anaya from University of Minnesota Twin Cities, Isabel Morales from Tufts, Lauren Kesson from UM.
That's the University of Maine at Farmington, Bob.
There you go.
Imagine Donnie Pelletier knows where it is.
Ava Day out of Cornell, University of Maine Farmington. Is that correct? Grace Mahmood, Erica Debley from Cornell, Hakulani Caraselli from University of Maine Farmington.
Good for you.
World University Games came in clutch for me on that one.
I'm telling you what, that is great.
Hannah Epstein from Cornell, Fallon Smith from University of Maine Farmington, and Michaela Eichel from Cornell, and of course, Tegan Andrew from University of Maine Farmington.
That was the crew that was set to come down, 131 of college's best female ski racers on the start list here for this ladies giant slalom. Sadly, if you're just joining us here on the USCSA Broadcast Network, the races today have been canceled, as you can see. Look outside for yourself. Nobody can race in this. It is winds now gusting to 75 miles an hour. The only reason these two lifts that you can see back here are turning is a result of the fact that they are heading directly into the wind. If it was a side or a crosswind onto those chairlifts, they would be gone as well. And even the brave souls that love to ski, and they don't care what the conditions are, as you can see, the chairs are empty here as well at the Alpine venue. High atop Mammoth Mountain in the Sierra Nevadas in beautiful California. It's the most beautiful mountain range I've seen in so long, and just down the street from Yosemite, maybe, about 100 miles, I think, south. Looks like we've lost our outside camera as well, as the wind has just blown it all away here, and that's going to be it for our outside views today. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and send this off. It's Boss Hogg and Elin Olive. We wanted to get with you on the air. We know lots of folks are tuned in today, waiting for some exciting championship ski racing. All we ask you to do is to pay attention to USCSA.org. We will update all of the competition schedules, and you'll be able to see what's coming up next. The broadcast schedule obviously is going to change dramatically as a result of today's weather conditions. We're going to hopefully get some things in this afternoon. Maybe we can have some of this clear up by tomorrow, but unfortunately it looks like what has happened here is that this winter storm warning that is calling for 5 to 9 feet of snow to come across the Sierra Nevadas over the next 3 days, it looks like it may have just rolled in, unfortunately, a little bit early for us today. But we do want to thank you for tuning in. More importantly, we want to congratulate all of the athletes, all 615 kids who did everything they had to do to make this national championship happen for them. They qualified, they did the work, they received the accolades, and they are here on the mountains with us. And we are so proud of them. We're glad that they're with us. We're glad you're joining us here on the broadcast network as well. So hats off to these great ladies for qualifying for this, and they're able to make it up here. We're going to do our very best to give you as much of the action as we can on the USCSA broadcast network. But right now, that's going to be the end of the day and the end of our broadcast here. We ask you to please check in USCSA.org at the broadcast page, and we'll keep you updated as to what's coming next. We want to thank our cameramen who have stood out there in a blizzard. That is Tim Devlin at the base here at the Finish Corral, one of our favorite people on the broadcast team. Matt Iverson on our high camera, stuck somewhere up there in that cold weather up there is just, I can't even imagine what it must be like up there. I want to also thank our board operator here. That's Dougie Fresh right behind us. He is the one that's switching as we are packed in tight here to an underground, almost an underground bunker. Just so you know, and I don't know if we can do this. I'm going to just go ahead and do it. It's probably not professional, and Doug's going to go crazy when I screw his cameras around. That's what we're looking out of a window right there. You can see there's the ground level, and that's our window right there. We are on the second floor of a 30-foot building, all right? Just so you know that this isn't light stuff. This is the deepest snow I've ever seen in my life. You can literally, at the condominium that we're staying in here, we are on the third floor of a condominium building, and we can open the windows and walk out the windows onto the snow. The first two floors are completely covered up out of the windows. So it is some deep snow here in the Sierra Nevadas, and unfortunately now the wind and the weather is going to cause us to cancel here for today. But we will be back with you just as soon as we possibly can. Again, congratulations to all of the qualifiers that are here at this 2023 USCSA National Championship. And that's going to do it for us. On behalf of all of us at the USCSA broadcast crew, this is Boss Hogg saying so long, everybody.